Hey guys, welcome back to Maison Malli. I'm Malli, and today we're talking Nespresso's best pods for 2022. But before we get into the video, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. I'm shooting for 25,000 friends by the end of this year, and so if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you can subscribe down below. You guys can also find me over on Instagram and TikTok, where I make daily coffee recipe videos. If that's something you're interested in, you can find me right here. Let's talk the best Nespresso pods. Alrighty guys, so this is always a fun video for me to make. I made my first best Nespresso pods video 2 years ago, and I've kept up with making one each year. So as we all know, this year is almost to an end. We are almost at November. It's in a couple of days, and so I really think that Nespresso has launched all of the pods that they're going to launch for this year, except of course for the new holiday pods, which just launched this week. Now, we have had a slew of great pods this year. The year started off with Dolce, we got Lemona over Ice, we got new pumpkin spice for Original Line, Doppio, Piccolo. I'm sure that I'm missing one or two, so it was a healthy year of pod launches. But some pods just shine bright, and so my list definitely consists of some of the new pods, but definitely some of the oldies. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my favorite Vertuo Line pods, top 5, and then my top 5 Original Line pods. Let's get started. Alrighty, so we're gonna start off with Vertuo. You guys already know this. By the way, I've got a little jar of pods right here that I'm gonna be sharing. So let's start off with the obvious. You guys have all heard me say this before. My favorite Vertuo Line pod is Bianco Forte. I love Bianco Forte. It's such a good 7.7 ounce. Now, reasons I love Bianco Forte, as just stated, it's a 7.7 ounce capsule, so it's good for all of the cozy vibes. I use this one a lot in the fall, winter time when I need a nice cozy cup in the morning. Bianco Forte is also a part of the Barista Creation line, so it pairs really nicely with milk, but what I love about this one is that milk does not dull it down. So it still has a really bold, strong taste to it, and it gives you that morning coffee kick that you need to pick you up. I feel as though Bianco Forte is one of those pods that has a mixed review. Some people love them, some people don't, but I actually really love this pod. And my favorite way to make it is actually as a reverso intenso. So that means you will add some cold milk to a glass, and then you will brew your Bianco Forte on top, and you've got yourself a nice, simple, delicious drink. My next favorite Vertuo pod on the list is actually a launch from this year. It's Lemona over Ice. So this is Lemona over Ice. It was a part of the summer collection. Guys, I think it's so good. I saw so many of you guys making this in so many different ways this summer. My favorite way to have Lemona over Ice is with sparkling water and a tablespoon of coconut syrup. Trust me, it's really refreshing. It's summery. It gives you all the tropical vibes. It's a really good pod. And another thing that I love about this pod is that it is a 2.7 ounce, so it's a double espresso. I thought that this pod might be a limited edition, but if you head over to the Nespresso site right now, it's still on there. Definitely one of my favorites. I love it in Vertuo. I love it in Original Line, but I think the Vertuo Line one is probably my fave just because you get that double shot. Now, my third favorite pod from Vertuo is a part of the Reviving Origins line, and it is a limited edition. Guys, it's Puerto Rico. I love this PR pod. I will show it to you guys. Oh my goodness. It is so good. For starters, I love Puerto Rico as an island. I love the people. I love the culture. I love the food. I love PR so much that I went there 2 years in a row for vacation. The food is great. The culture is great. The people are great and beautiful. And the coffee is exactly the same. It does not disappoint. So I really love this pod because it is bold. It pairs really nicely with sugar. So if you're ever wanting to make one of those, maybe like a brown sugar shaken latte kind of vibe, this is perfect for that. It stands up against sweeter syrup. So usually when I'm using Puerto Rico, again, I'll make like a shaken brown sugar latte, or I like to pair it back to like my Monin cinnamon syrup. Any syrup that's really sweet, this pod is really gonna hold its own. Again, I love it because it's a double espresso, so you get more for your buck. And guys, it just actually relaunched. So if you've never tried Puerto Rico, this is the time. Trust me, stock up on it. That reminds me, I have to stock up on it. I'm probably gonna grab a couple sleeves because it only comes around once a year. Now, I hate to do it to you guys, but my fourth favorite Vertuo pod, it's another limited edition. It is Hawaii Kona. I love Hawaii Kona. First of all, it's just a beautiful little pod, right? Look at it, it's so cute. And it's equally as yummy. Hawaii Kona, it just gives me like really like milky, creamy, sweet kind of vibes. My favorite syrups to use with this one, it's gonna be the Monin white chocolate syrup. I love to use the Torani salted vanilla syrup, the Torani salted egg yolk syrup, because this pod is kind of sweet and creamy and those pods are sweet and creamy. So they honestly just pair so nicely together for an iced latte. And I don't usually consume this one hot like the other pods that I've showed you so far. So Puerto Rico, I like that hot and cold. Limona over ice, I only like that iced. Bianco Forte, I particularly like that one hot. This guy right here, I think when it's hot, it's kind of like too milky, but iced, it's just a delicious, like light, refreshing pod. Now, Hawaii Kona is currently out. It's not around, but I suggest when it does come back, you scoopy up some boxes. I think I have maybe like 5 left, and I'm super nervous about it. Like, I really need to get some more when they come back out. Now, my fifth and final pod for Vertuo is one that's available right now, and it's actually one of Nespresso's newest launches. It's going to be the Vertuo Piccolo pod. So this is Piccolo, a gorgeous little chocolate thing. Y'all know we love some chocolate. But yes, this is Piccolo. So Piccolo is new to the Vertuo line. It's a single espresso shot. It's made to pair back nicely with milk. If you guys didn't know, Bianco Leggera was discontinued earlier this year, and Nespresso replaced it with 2 pods. So primarily the Doppio pod, which is a double espresso, like Bianco Leggera was, and then also with this Piccolo pod. I like Piccolo because it's a little bit more intense than Doppio is, but it still pairs back really nicely with milk, so it's perfect for a latte. It's got kind of like a bowl taste to it, so it's still very sweet and it's still very creamy. Nespresso says that it's sweet, smooth texture, notes of biscuit and caramel. Piccolo comprises of a thicker, darker roast than Doppio. So pretty much everything that I just said. It's like thicker, bolder, but still creamy and still sweet. Piccolo is a part of the permanent collection, so if you guys haven't tried it yet, it's definitely a winner. You should give it a go. Guys, those are all of my current Vertuo favorites and honestly staples that I think that you should have at all times. But as you guys know, I have a Creatista machine now, and so I've been dabbling in the original line, and I've put together some of my favorites to share with you as well. The original line was a little bit harder to put together just because there are so many good pods. First up, guys, my #1 favorite is Napoli. I've said this before, Napoli is just delicious. Now, when you want to talk about intense, you have to talk about Napoli. It does have an intensity of 13, so it's probably the most intense pod that Nespresso has, and it's also described as dark and creamy. So it's giving you that boldness that you want, but it's still very smooth, creamy, and really holds up to any syrup that's going to be extra sweet. Napoli is a pod that I like to have around at all times. I like it hot, I like it iced. It can go either way, but it's great for those mornings when you just can't get it together and you need something that's going to be really strong and bold. Another favorite of mine is Vanilla Eclair. Do you see how I say that? Like Vanilla Eclair. It's really romantic, very sweet. It's vanilla flavored, of course, and it's absolutely one of my favorite pods. So Nespresso describes this coffee as decadent. If you brew it as the cappuccino, it tastes sweet, has almond notes, and that's exactly why I like it. I think it's really decadent, it's sweet. I didn't know that it has almond notes, but that makes sense because I love almond overall, so I don't think that I've ever tried this one with an almond syrup, but I'll give that a go. Guys, if you're looking for a sweet treat, vanilla eclair is where it's at. Now you guys will probably see a trend here of Original Line espresso pods that I like, because the next one on my list is going to be Frito del Caldo. So this is what it looks like if you guys have never seen it before. It's described as light and sweet. And guys, that's how I like a lot of my iced beverages. I like them light and sweet, and that's what this pod is going to give you. It's creamy again. It's a part of the Barista Creation line, so pairs back really nicely with milks. I always know that I like a pod if I reach for it several times in the same week, and over the summer I was having this one like every single day. It really is creamy, it's sweet, and it's delicious. Now the next pod on my Original Line list is going to be Aged Sumatra. This is what it looks like. Aged Sumatra. I think that this one may come as a shock to some folks, because when I made the video on Aged Sumatra, I said that it was like something that you did need to get. But again, I realized that I was reaching for it a lot, like every day. And it's not because I think it's amazing or because I feel as though I have to have it, but it's just a good neutral pod. It's like not great. It doesn't suck, it just goes with everything, and that's why I like it. That's kind of weird, right? So it's not that I love it and I think that it's the best of the best, but I think it's a good one to have in your stash because it kind of goes with everything and it's kind of bold. It's not currently available, but hopefully when it comes back around, you guys can give it a try. Now, my fifth pod for the Original Line is going to be one that you guys have heard me talk a lot about. It is Buenos Aires Lungo. I love Buenos Aires Lungo. It's one of my favorites. This pod, I never have it as a lungo. In fact, all of the Original Line pods, some of them are lungos, but I just choose to not have it that way. I'm always using it as an espresso in my lattes and cappuccinos. This one is really lovely and it boasts sweet and cereal notes. My favorite syrup to have with this one is honey by Monin. Oh my gosh, it's such a beautiful pairing. In fact, I've got a video where I make the recipe, so I'll link it right here for you guys. But Buenos Aires Lungo is really great. Again, really sweet, really flavorful, definitely one of my favorites. Now, finally, I know that I did 5 for Original Line. It was really hard to choose, but I am going to include a 6th one, and I don't even have it on deck. I ran out. I need to order more, but it's going to be Miami. First of all, y'all know I love Miami, but this pod is amazing. It's really great for those brown sugar shaken espresso drinks because it's really bold. Now, Nespresso says that it's cereal note, but it's weird. I don't feel like I get cereal note. I get a lot of intensity out of it, but it's still pretty sweet. Nespresso also says it's a full-bodied, intense roast carrying delightful roasted woody cereal notes, so that makes sense. I think you definitely get the more roastness, woody out of it more so than cereal. It's great for any latte you're gonna make. If you haven't tried Miami, try Miami. Guys, thank you for sharing in my favorite Nespresso pods with me. Whether you have a Vertuo Line machine or an Original Line machine, or you have both like me, these are pods that I think you should have on deck at all times. Drop it in the comments down below. Let me know, what is your favorite Nespresso pod? But while we are talking about pods, guys, the new holiday pods have just launched. I'm sure you guys have all ordered it, and so you guys can look forward to a holiday taste test very soon. If you'd like to see that video and any other coffee content that I make, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. Guys, as always, thank you for stopping by Maison Malli, and I'll see you guys next time.